start over again. So a very warm welcome to Laura, and for our guys that have just entered the room, we're very excited to have Laura all the way from Au Pair Care from the west coast of the US. A nice early morning, getting started with us today, talking mostly on the Au Pair program, but specifically requirements, applications, and obviously also those fees. We do have part 2 with 2 more wonderful guests coming up on the 10th of December. So we will definitely have lots of information to share with you guys. All right, loving all the videos. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's scooch on over to our who we are. Oops, too fast there. And who we are and everybody involved in this new adventure. So OVC, we are throughout South Africa. We're represented by a number of different offices. And guys, we are 75 years old today. Our company has been sending people overseas for 75 years. Can you actually believe that? I've been here for a very large portion of that, going on over 22 or so years that we've been here and helping au pairs. So we have some good knowledge. We are based all over the show, and we are ready to interview, to screen, to help you, and to start this au pair adventure with you. My name is Robin. I run this program. I get to work with Laura every day from Au Pair Care and all the wonderful staff and team members and all the other people on the other side that will be looking after you through this journey. I have a lot of knowledge on the Au Pair program. I have myself been an au pair many years ago, and I just absolutely love the program. So over to you, Laura. Sorry, my mouse is not working with me tonight. Over to you to share a little bit about Au Pair Care and who you guys are.
Yeah, well, I was an au pair as well a few years ago. I'm from Spain, and it was the best time of my life. I can tell you that. Years later, I came back to USA, and I've been working in admissions team for 3 years. But overall, in au pair care, I've been working for 10 years. So good. I can share that au pair care has been around since 1989. Like almost when I born. We recruit people from all around the world, and we love all our South African au pairs. We have many host families looking for au pairs from South Africa. They love that you speak English. That's the best part for you, and competitive with the other part of the world. And let me know. I have a presentation. Let me know, Robin, you want me to share? No, or you tell me.
No, just a little snippet on you. We got lots to go through tonight. So Laura works with me daily, guys. Her job is to work with us as a country. She also deals with all the Namibian ladies that if we do have you online, Laura also checks your applications. So Laura, what does a day look like for you? What do you do at Au Pair Care? And tell us a little bit about your role.
Well, the admissions teams, what we do is review all your applications. So everything's go to OVC, OVC send it to us, and we review everything, like your essays, what you write, your videos, your pictures, background check, medical check. We review everything. If there is something that we think that needs to improve, we send it back and ask for those improvements. If everything is okay, we accept your application. Once you accept your application, you will be in the pool where host families can see you. And then they will start asking for interviews. So you will see your platform family, I don't know, O'Brien would like to interview you. And then you meet them on the interview, and then, well, I think I'm talking too much, no, Robin? I'm going too far.
Don't worry. With interviews a bit later. But yes, so guys, Laura has all the expertise of what a family is sort of looking for, things to look out with your application. So the admissions team is divided into a few people, and each person deals with different countries. So we have the pleasure of working every day with Laura to make sure your apps go live. If your app is a bit stale and needs a bit of a boost or a refresher or anything like that, these are the team that work with us daily. Just a little bit of an overview of placements. We do place all over the US. For the most part, just about almost every state is covered. Obviously, there are certain areas where there isn't representation by au pair care. So for the most part, big cities, suburban areas, there are thousands of families waiting to be matching with you. A lot of people don't know much about the US, so we do recommend you to have an open mind. You could go anywhere. Don't just look at what you see on the TV and want to go to New York and Florida and California and all the popular places, because au pairing is really about cultural exchange and exposing yourself to so many different things abroad. In terms of au pairs, we love to share videos, photos, stories. Today is actually Au Pair International Au Pair Day. Get my words there. And we've been very excited because leading up to this and today and for the rest of the week, we are featuring all of our au pairs, not only from the US, but from around the world. So you too could be an international au pair as well in the States. What is, day in the life of an au pair? Essentially, you are going to be working 45 hours in a day, in a week, 10 hours max per day. And obviously, normally getting your 1.5 days off in the week. Laura, tell me about your day as an au pair. You know, how old were your children? What did you have to do with them? What kept you busy in the day?
Well, when I was an au pair, my typical day is like a typical day for an au pair. So I was taking care of two little boys. So I just wake up and have their breakfast ready, make their breakfast, go to the kitchen. And then when the breakfast is ready, we need to get them ready to go to school. Dress them up, make sure the backpack is ready, make sure their snack is ready because they have lunch at the school. So they bring their lunch. And then get the car and drop them to the school. Drop them off, come back home, and I used to go to their room and make their room, like make their beds and make sure the toys are put away and everything is organized. And later I had free time. So I used to go to the gym, or sometimes I had classes to go to classes or meet with other au pairs. And then I have my lunch by my own, I have my free time. And after that, I'll pick them up from school. When they're done from the school, get the car, pick them up, and then bring them to activities. They had soccer in that time. So we go to soccer, bring snacks as well. My kids were eating all the time. The mom is like, make sure you have food. They don't start crying. And then we have snacks after school in the car and go to soccer. While they weren't doing soccer, I was just like there waiting or just my phone, reading a book or whatever. And then when they were done with soccer, come back home and make dinner for them. And then I used to have dinner with them. And then after that, I passed to the parents. And the parents used to do the bedtime. That was in my case. And au pairs is different, and maybe they do the bedtime. So it depends the dynamic of the family, their work of the parents, and the age of the children. But that's like a typical day for an au pair. I used to have most of the weekends free, but sometimes I had to work on Saturdays for soccer practice or something like that. And then in my free time, I used to meet other au pairs and go to the meetings that Au Pair Care does. There's an area director who lives very close to you, and she does events every month. So it's a perfect opportunity for you and go and meet other au pairs and have some fun. So I used to go to the city and have some fun. And I used to do a lot of road trips too. So in my free time, go with my au pair friends and do road trips. I had a fantastic year.
If you have a look at like a lot of the girls that are doing their applications or considering age groups of children to take care of and things like that, what would you say not a typical family has, but how many children does a typical au pair care family have? And what are the common age groups that, the girls can be prepared to match with and talk with, those kind of families?
We have families with babies under 2 years old, and then we have many families from 2 years old to, I will say, 10 years old. So 10 will be like the maximum. Later, we have extra families with 12 or higher, like older kids. But usually I will say like that's the average. Usually have families, they have 2 kids minimum, usually. Many families, they have 3. Can you hear me well? I hear something weird. Many families, they have 3 children.
Sorry, I just had to mute someone.
Can you hear me?
Good? Yes, I can. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, perfect. And some families, they have 4 children as well. Au pairs, sometimes they get scared when they have more than 2 children or even more than 1. It's like, don't get scared. It's better if they have more children, actually, because they play with each other. So that's great. When you're taking care of just of one, he's just like looking at you, like you need all the attention to that child and everything. When they are more than 1, they play together so you can breathe. Like, okay, you're playing. I can rest here.
Yeah.
And when there is 3 or 4, the families, they usually have a good dynamic where families, they understand there are 4. So the mom gets 1, where the au pair with another one. So don't get scared because there are more than 1, 2 child. It's great. I actually think it's better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it makes sense. Keeps you free a little bit. You can pay attention to one, or they, like you say, they can keep each other busy. Now, obviously, as an au pair, guys, you're going to head over and you kind of want to know what's included, what's, part of the program, what's not part of the program. So we are going to go into a lot more detail about au pair inclusions, au pair program support on our next part 2 of our series. But tonight, for those of you, we just wanted to touch on the basics. So au pairs really get, in my opinion, because I have been an au pair and I know you do get spoiled, you do get a lot of nice things, but at the same time, it's a lot of hard work. It's that give and take of being a part of a family, going the extra mile, them going the extra mile, getting to know each other, and really just appreciating this program. Every family will be screened by Au Pair Care. That is their job, to screen host families. So we and Laura screen you as a participant. And then on the other end, we have a team that signs up families. They will screen host families, go through that whole process of how many kids do you have? What are your required duties? Where do you live? What kind of room are you going to provide for the au pair? So as an au pair, you do have that minimum of having a private room in the home with the host family, all your meals provided. You've got your study allowance of 500 USD to cover a short course at a local community college. You will receive your return flights to the US, provided you stay your full program length. You've got the support. We talk about support actually on the next slide, so I'll let Laura tell you about that a bit more. The families will provide that air ticket, as I say, and you also get a stipend, so a weekly rate that you get paid to work your 45 hours, and lots of other wonderful things. So au pairing really is a comprehensive package where you're going to get so many benefits, from this program. In terms of partner support, we have things like insurance, monthly meetings, screening of host families, your visa document supply. So Laura, you know what's included in the au pair care side of the package and the looking after of our girls on the program. What can you tell us about the support and the background that the girls will get when it comes to all those important things, medical, visa, monthly check-ins, etc.?
Well, I'm very proud of Au Pair Care with the support that the girls have when they're in USA. So I think that's the best part that we have. And when I was an au pair and I was looking for like the best agency, the best sponsor was Au Pair Care with that, and I went with them. So we have your area director who lives within an hour of you and meet you every month, and will contact you and contact the family every month to make sure that everything is going well. Also, we have a 24 hours emergency phone number if there is an emergency and something happens, so you can rely on that. We have also our regional manager in case you cannot contact the area director, who will be supporting you as well. With the host families, we do the same check we do with you, we do with the families too. the criminal background. We go to their house, check the house. We have an interview with all the family. We do personal reference, professional reference, exactly the same. Like we want to make sure that they're a good family and they live in a nice house where you can live and stay with them and have a great time.
Perfect. And then
I don't know if I'm missing something else. Okay.
No. So some of the girls get excited about monthly activities. What can they expect in like monthly activities? I know they try to keep it cultural to the state, things like that, but sometimes it can just be random. What are some of the fun activities the girls can do month to month?
So I remember when I was an au pair, I was a little shy about going to those events. Like, I don't know anybody there.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone is like you. Nobody is like they're new and they're looking forward to meet people and make friends. So the au pairs that I met in my au pair events, they're still my best friends. They're still my best friends. They're like my family. So I 100% recommend you to go to these events. They're different every month. Each area director organized them. When I was an area director, I did I was an area director for 7 years. Canoa events, kayaking, go picnic to the park, go to a baseball game here with the San Francisco Giants, cross the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, I don't know, like every month we do something different. A lot of handcrafts also when it was winter and it was raining. And sometimes we bring the kids as well. And actually, I work in headquarters in the office. And last week we invite 25 au pairs that came, 25, well, we invite more, but 25 came with their host kids. Many host families came too. And we did a Thanksgiving lunch for all of them. It was very fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Oh, exciting. So I'm sure you're looking forward to Thanksgiving this week, right?
Yes.
All right. So, Laura, there are two big benefits that stand out with Au Pair Care and what makes us a bigger and different part of the au pairing. And the first one being our minimum stipend being a little higher than every other agency out there, guys. So as an au pair with Au Pair Care and OVC, you will earn 215 per week. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of money per week compared to the minimum 195, but over the year, you can earn almost $1,000 more as being an au pair. And I know it's not all about the money, but it certainly will allow you to have some real fun, travel a little extra trip, save up some money, bring it home, put it in your pocket, whatever it might be, but it does go a long way. And also the other thing is, and I'll hand this one over to you, Laura, our New York Connect. Tell us about that and what the girls can expect from this.
New York Connect is just a gift that we give you all when you arrive to USA. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to New York and meet many other au pairs. So you'll go to a hotel, arrive on a Tuesday, and in that hotel, au pair care staff will welcome you. And many other au pairs around the world, they're coming at the same time you. So we'll put you together in their rooms. Like, for example, if you are going to, I don't know, Austin, Texas, and there's more au pairs going to Austin, Texas, we'll put together in the same room so you can actually meet each other and start making friends and making connections. So this is Au Pair Care Connect, is to start making connections. Also, I think it helps a lot to, okay, after the long flight from South Africa, jet lag, tired, stress, is that let's get here, relax, change the shift in your mind. Go, I'm already here. I can see the yellow taxis around. And then that day we'll have dinner together, some orientation. And the next day in the morning, there is a tour guide, professional tour guide that we hire. Will pick you up in a bus and you all going together on a tour to Manhattan. So it's all day just having fun. We'll show you the most popular places of New York and Manhattan to take pictures and go around and still connecting with the other au pairs. After the full day in Manhattan, the bus will pick you up, bring back to the hotel, and then next morning you'll have breakfast and we'll guide you to go to the airport. and in the airport, you get your flight to go to your host family. So it's so much fun. It's just a little treats to make some connection, have fun, and relax.
Absolutely. And the photos we get from New York Connect truly are amazing. Our girls have the best time. Summer, we've got the sunny, beautiful bridges and Times Square. And in the winter, we've got the cold, snowy pictures. And so we're going to get a lot of those coming up now. So no matter when you go to New York, it really is just such a great experience. It's not a training. It's not, anything where you're going to be sitting in classes and learning. It's about connecting. It's about making friends. It's about sitting down and having conversations. And exploring without having to, like Laura says, go straight into work. You can go and have this little gift and a little holiday. So let's talk about the most important part of how to make a great application. So we're going to just run through, first of all, just the timelines of things. So first things first, we are going to, at the OVC level, have those conversations with you. Do you want to go? Do you qualify? What do you need? Okay, great. Tick, 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 tick. You got all the boxes ticked. You can now start your application. So we will register you on what the back end is called the Au Pair Care portal. And on your portal is where you're going to be creating all this wonderful information about yourself. Now, remember, there's thousands of families, there's thousands of girls. So you want to make your application stand out. When Laura reads it, she wants to go, wow, this girl's amazing, like she's going to get placed, or what a video, it could do a little bit of improvement, or, maybe change up your profile photo or whatever. So we do our very best on our level to go through that, do the application, do the screening. It comes to me, I'll check it. We have that interview with you. And from that point, we then submit the portal over to Laura. Laura, maybe you can just then, as we hand over to you, explain kind of your back-end process of like getting it live to families.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So you're going to
receive the application process?
Yeah. So when you receive an application, we'll go into all the, the particulars on what you specifically need on an application in the coming slides. But just, I think literally I can submit in the morning and you checking in the evening. It's that quick.
We're very quick. That's true.
Yeah. So tell us about that process. How quick is it? How quickly do they start hearing from families? How does that, from when I go, here we go, Laura, take care of this, what happens at that point?
Yeah, the full team is here to review all the applications, so we're very quick, as Robin say, and the same day the application is approved or send it back for improvements. Once the application is approved, they're ready for the families, and the families can do like a screening on like someone who has, I don't know, 400 hours of experience. So I need someone who is a really good swimmer, so they can do those kind of screenings. And then they start asking, well, they can do just like favorite, like sometimes an opera is like, oh, nobody contacted me in the last 2 days, but it's so that people is looking at your profile is actually favorite then. So that's good. And then they interview very soon, like I will say in the first week. What do you think, Robin?
For sure. Yeah.
It's very quick. We have many families. Yeah.
So I think the nice thing is that if I submit your application anytime South African time, 8 to 5, by that evening, Laura gets it. It's on her plate. She looks at it. Besides the weekends, there's a few delays with the weekends, but if it's in real time, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, our time, their time, Laura will review. If she's happy, she clicks the button and your app goes live. You will immediately go into the pool, and families are searching constantly. And some of our girls have, within that first night, already had 4 reservations for interviews. So it's a very quick process. If we feel like you maybe need to fix up with a signature on your medical, maybe the doctor forgot to answer a question, or maybe you put your passport number down wrong. But a lot of those issues are ironed out pretty quickly. And for the most part, unless it's confusion with your working hours of childcare, most au pairs go live after we've submitted to Au Pair Care within 24 hours. It's really about the time frame that leads up to having a license, having enough hours and everything. But from the minute that we review and interview and submit and go live, it's really a matter of like 2 or 3 days. Families will have interviews with you. And at that point, when you've matched, we need to quickly move on to doing your visa application. And after and during this whole time of visa to departure, you will also get access to your online training on your portal. So you'll be doing training. You will also, obviously, with our help, be booked for your visa, prepped for your visa, and then you'll head into the embassy. After you have attended your embassy appointment, flights are usually booked a little bit before, but you don't see them until after your visa is approved and all your training is done. But literally, we work towards departure dates. Now, Laura, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's like 32 or 36 departures in a year, if I'm not mistaken. How many?
Yeah, almost every week.
Yeah.
Almost every week we have departure. Maybe in December, the Christmas week, we don't have something like that, but almost every week.
Yeah. So we have a minimum of 2 departures, and over the American summer, which is a massive arrival time, June, July, August, there is almost a departure every week. So there definitely are busier and slower times. We are ramping up to our very busy time. Jan to March is the South African New Year and New Life for us. So timing is crucial now. If you want to get going, now is a good time. So in terms of, there we go. Oopsie. Too fast. Okay, in terms of the basics, age, we do take up to 25, enter program before 26. We take South Africans and Namibians. You must have a minimum of a grade 12 education or the equivalent of it, single with no dependents. Valid passport for the duration of your program, and overall being in good health. So if you do have any past health history, for example, if you have asthma or if you've had any mental health history, we do request additional medical forms to go through. We do pre-screens because we want to make sure that when you're on the program, your insurance is valid and will cover for any and all things that will happen. That you are mentally fit and ready for the program. It's a big change, it's a big challenge. So if you do have any little thing on your medical, even if it's allergies, let us know about it. Anything on the medical, we will just look at, have a think about it. But for the most part, nothing is a major concern. We just want to be open with health history. Laura, on to you'll be the expert here, childcare experience. Tell us about the minimum requirements of hours and what you're looking for in the childcare that the girls need to work on. You know, where can they get their childcare hours? How many do they need? Special needs, infant qualified, normal, all those kinds of little things on childcare.
Yes, the minimum requires 300 hours. That's the minimum. As much as you have, the better. You can get a childcare experience in the church, for example. You on Sundays go to the church and help with the children, or you're a babysitter of your neighbors, or you work on a daycare or are volunteer in a daycare. Everything related with the children, a summer camp, or you just are teaching some subjects after school activities. Anything related with the children, we add it as a childcare experience. Even if you have childcare experience with your own cousins and siblings, we count those hours as well. So when you do the application, make sure that all your experience is there, because once you apply, you can not change that. Okay, you cannot come later and say, oh, I forgot I also was taking care of this girl for this time. We cannot. So make sure that all your childcare experience is in applications when you submit it. The families like to have different experience, like, oh, she was like maybe babysitter for a while and she was also in a summer camp for a while. So a mix of experience is nice. They like that. Always babysitting and nanny is the most similar experience with an au pair, because you are at home with the children. So they have at least one of those. And regarding the driver's license, I see here, it's required. We all need to have driver license. Before you come to the USA, you need your international driver license. And then when you come to the USA, you need to get your driver license from the state that you are. For example, in California, so I need my California driver license. I was an au pair in Seattle, so I have my Washington driver license as well, because the rules change from each state. Yeah. Here it's very easy. Don't worry about it. It's a theory test first. It's super easy, and then the driving test. As if you have more experience driving, perfect. We want you to be very honest and tell us the truth. Because if you say, oh yeah, I have a lot of experience driving, I love to drive in the snow. And then a family from Chicago is like, perfect, this is our girl. And then come the snow in winter, like she doesn't know how to drive in the snow. Yeah. So there will come up problems. So be very honest, okay? Many families need drivers, but many other families, they don't need drivers. I live in San Francisco, we don't drive here at all. Who is in New York, they don't drive either. So be honest, if you don't have experience driving, that's fine, just say it. But if you have driving experience, we want you to let us know. And what's your experience like weekly? Like I usually go to, I don't know, to college every day, or I'm going to my grandma's house in the countryside every weekend. Like the family can see and imagine what's your daily life with the car. So that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And Laura, the kinds of, obviously, you know, when it comes to the childcare, they'll be living in, so it's anything pertaining to the child that the age appropriate. So if they're babies, they'll be doing anything from changing diapers to bottle feeding to preparing meals, playing probably at home quite a bit. And then obviously your school going, you'll do all the school runs and maybe the sports and activities and things like that. And then with the teenagers, you know, there you might just have to run them to and from a few outings and maybe help with studies and stuff. Driving in America, how do the families prepare the girls to drive? You know, when they arrive at the home, what can they expect of family? How do the families help them to get comfortable driving normally?
The families usually, within the first week that they arrive, they go out and check how comfortable is the au pair with the car. Each family is different, okay, and each state is different and depends the weather and those things. So when I was an au pair, my host mom came with me. We went outside. She showed me first around the neighborhood in the car, like here's the grocery shopping, here's the pharmacy, here's those things. And then next time we did together, and we did together a few times. So she could make sure that I was comfortable with automatic car because I didn't know how to drive an automatic, for example, and make sure that I was fine with a big car because in Spain we have a smaller car. That was a big truck for me. So they make sure they are comfortable and you're fine, and then you get your driver license in the state that you are, and then you are good to go with the car. Yes. Some families, they even...
Karen?
Some families can even give them like driving lessons, sorry.
Yeah.
Some families do that too, just to make sure they're fine.
Okay.
So it depends on the family. Yeah.
And the state license, what can the girls expect to go through to get one? Generally, I know they're all very different, but what's the basic process to know?
Yeah, your area director will give you the guide of your state when you have the orientation, and you can find that online too. So like when you know already which state you're going, you can go to the DMV website and download the handbook. So you study that part. It's like in every country, it's just like the rules might change a little bit. And for example, for me, it was different. Like parking was feet, like it's 2 feet apart from the car, 1 feet apart. And I was getting crazy with the feet. So I had to learn the number of feet. But you have like a test online that you can practice. For me, it was very easy. Like I'm not sure how it's in South Africa. In Europe, for all Europeans, it's very easy, this driving test.
Okay.
And then once you you pass that, it's just like quickly, I would say stand up in 10 minutes. It was something like that. Nothing, don't expect nothing like, whoa, these people, no. And then when that you pass that, they give you an appointment to do the driving test. And usually you bring your own car. That was very weird for me. In Spain, it's not like that. So you bring your own car. So usually the family car for the test. They don't provide you a car. And then you do the driving test with the person who is there just looking, and that's it. And when it's approved, they send you the driver license at home. They even make you the pictures and everything. At least in the 2 states I had my driver license. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And then just random kind of skills which we're looking for in an application: cooking, swimming, being creative. What are some of those weird and wonderful things that families do request? Because I know it's not just about the childcare and the cooking. Yeah, I mean, families are quite bizarre sometimes, but what should the girls put on their applications?
All the skills that you have, put in there. You never know what a family is looking for. You never know. If you're a good swimmer, put it there. Many families, they have swimming pools at home and they need a good swimmer. Or maybe they don't have a swimming pool at home, but usually on summer they go to like country clubs where there are swimming pools, and then they need you to be with the kids and make sure that you swim well. If you cook well, perfect. Put it there. Many families will love that. You don't have to cook for the family, okay? Only for the children. But many au pairs, like I used to cook sometimes for my family or help my husband with in the kitchen. So it's great you have those skills. If you know like a sport, like I'm great, I don't know, on tennis, or I'm great, and I'm professional. We sometimes have operator professionals in sports. Put it there. Families love to hear about that too. Maybe their kids are learning exactly that. The sport would love to be with them and teach them. All about art, very important. The families in USA really appreciate au pairs who know about art and handcraft for the kids. Very important, all those handcrafts. For those winter rainy days, it's perfect to have those skills. So if you have certifications of the Red Cross or something like that, put it there. All your skills, don't forget any of them, put it all there because they're all important.
Yeah. Do you think that something that's not in an actual slide, how important is an au pair video in an application? What do you think is the first thing that a family goes to when they're looking at au pairs, on the database? Yeah. We all know they get that little flashy little profile photo and some highlights, but tell the girls what the families are looking for and what will make a good impression and stand out.
The first thing they're going to see is your profile picture. So make sure you have a really good profile picture. This is not your Instagram. This is not your TikTok, okay? This is more like a resume. So families, they don't like when the au pairs have their tongue out or they have bunny ears, things like that, okay? So let's remove all that part and make it a little more serious. So make sure that we can see your face very well. They're also in their phone. So in the phone is little. So make sure that your picture is close, zoom in, so they can see your face, because in the phones maybe it's difficult to see you like far away. Make sure you have a good light. You're smiling. And if you have a child with you, that will be perfect. So they can have an idea. But for example, if all your experience is about children about 8, 9 years old, don't put a profile picture with a baby, because that's a match. So family is going to see a baby. It's like, oh no, my child is 9 years old, so they're going to pass. So don't do that, because sometimes I see that in au pairs. They have a picture with the babies, their own siblings, but then they're all experienced with older kids. So profile picture, super important, okay? And then the video. So they're going to see the profile picture and say, oh yeah, I like her. And then go to the video. So in the video, it's very important that you're talking. It's not AI, okay? We see some videos with AI. We need to send them back. You're talking those videos. And We like to see that you explain about your life. Explain a little bit what's your routine, what you like about your country, a little bit about your city. Like, oh, this is my city, and we like to see that too. And the families can have an idea where you're coming from, and show pictures maybe of your parents and your siblings. They like to see your family too because they're going to bring you to their house and you're going to take care of their most precious things that they have with their children. So they want to make sure that they know about you, they know about your background, about your family. So that's the most important thing as a first impression is the profile picture and the video. Yeah.
Perfect. How long should their video be? What do you think the average video length is?
Not too long, like a couple minutes is
Mhm.
fine. Don't do like a Hollywood production. We don't need that. We don't need that. We just want to be something on it. Yeah, some operas they take so long and they have like a huge production. Like we don't need that. Like just
Okay.
you
2, 3
talking on the
minutes.
camera and be natural. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Show
Okay.
around your house if you like.
And
They like to see
smile.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and smile in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of au pairs are too scared to smile because they're talking so much. So remember to smile, guys.
No, smile. And the US culture is all about the smile. So this is a different culture. Yes, a smile.
Cool, perfect. All right. And then we're going to talk about fees, guys. So what's your budget for? So you're going to pay your application fee when you get started, which is your 4950. You're going to pay your program fee, but only when you are placed with a host family. You are also going to pay your visa at a similar time to when you placed. So those program fees and the US 185 generally come together a couple weeks, obviously, after starting the process. So there is going to be a gap between the 4950 and then the placement and visa. Your medical travel insurance is included. And the flights are also included. You first go on a one-way to America, and at successful completion of your first year or your second year, depending on how long you stay on program, you then receive your one-way ticket back to your home country. Spending money is very important. Your spending money is for a purpose. You're not going to spend all of it, but it's important to take money. So when you arrive at this wonderful New York Connect, you might want to grab yourself some souvenirs. You might want to taste a lot of tasty treats along the way. But the mandatories are dinner Tuesday and Wednesday nights at the New York Connect. When you go on the Thursday to your host family's home, you would have to cover the baggage if you are flying on a plane to your host family. Your checked baggage will cost you, just take one bag, about $30 to $40, depending on the airline. So pack light because au pairs buy a lot of stuff as well. Then obviously when you arrive in your host family's home, they may take you to the mall the first weekend, or you might meet up with one of the other au pairs in your area and go for a coffee, and you want to have some cash available for that. And then after that first week, following the second, you will receive your first paycheck. Some au pairs like to buy all their toiletries when they get there or other little incidentals. And that's what all of this money will cover, is those few mandatories and then just anything else of a personal nature until your stipend starts coming in. At the moment, if you add it all up, it is not quite at 25,000. It's a little bit less than that. I think it's about mid 23,000. But if you're throwing together a budget of about 25,000, you will have enough to cover all of those fees. Remember that the process does take about 2 to 6 months, depending on when you start. And if you start without or with your license, some girls will then take a bit longer than others. But essentially, that 25,000 will be paid out and then also portion taken with you when you fly off to the States. We do have, for those of you who know, and if you don't know, a 1,000 Rand discount. On our current application fees. So if you have seen these images and videos and all sorts of content going out, we have reduced our application fee, and this is running until the 30th of November. On top of that, if you are currently you've applied, you're on the application process. If you hurry, you've got 6 days and go live and match with the family before the 30th of November, could stand a chance to win from Au Pair Care a $500 Airbnb voucher. So that's a current promo that is running. So guys, if you want to get in there and still take part in a January departure, we still do have January departures happening. Push that application through, pay your application fee, check all those boxes, and let's get you live and online. We have a lot of social media out there, so if you're not following us already, do go and check that out, especially now that we have International Au Pair Day. There's a lot of content and a lot of love going around in the OVC for all the au pairs and how wonderful this program is. If you're not sure where to go next, we have offices around the country. Whoever put you on this webinar is going to be the one that's going to help you through this experience. So go back to them and tell them that you've listened in, that you're excited, that you're ready to apply, and they will send you that very first step. But from our side, that is all that we have to share with you guys tonight. We're going to hand it back to you for a couple questions. If you do need to head out, thank you very much for listening. The session was recorded, so we will have it available for catching up on what you may have missed, or if you just want to go back and have a re-listen. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Laura, for being available today. I was going to say tonight, but this morning. Yeah, over to everybody for questions. If you do want to type them in the chat box, or if you want to unmute yourself, you are welcome to as well. I know that a lot of you have shared your names and locations. So if you haven't shared your name and location in the chat box, please do so. We'd love to see who we have online with us tonight. And then no problem, I see some moms are standing in our matrics writing their last exam tomorrow, so thanks for all those listening in for their daughters today. Over to you guys for questions. Any questions we haven't answered, guys? Or you all full of knowledge? Reminder, we are having part 2, which will focus on matching host families and also a lot of partner support, and going into those fantastic benefits of the Au Pair program. All right, so do we have to have a passport to get started? Absolutely not. You can log into your Au Pair Care portal. You can start filling in all the different sections. You're going to have 19 different sections that you have to complete. One of them specifically is the passport, and that will just remain not green until the point that you have that passport. And then when you've got the passport, you will load it on. We can even do your interview without the passport, but we just can't submit